Everything you've been told about retirement is a lie, not a mistake, not a misunderstanding, a deliberate mathematical lie. You're told to work 40 years, save 10%, and trust the system. But here's the problem. The system was designed in 1889 by a man who expected you to be dead by 65. Today, we are living longer, the dollar is dying faster, and the safety net you're counting on has a $400 trillion hole in it. You aren't saving for retirement. You're funding a heist where you are the victim. Today, we're exposing the math they don't want you to see. Let me be clear. This is not about panic. It's about positioning. Every generation gets a different economic reality. Your grandparents could rely on one job, one pension, one house, one currency. That world rewarded loyalty and patience. This world rewards adaptability and ownership. Retirement is no longer an age. It's a financial condition. These shift viewers must you understand. Old model said, work, save, retire, live. New model says, learn, build, own, earn, repeat. Instead of asking, when can I retire? The better question is, how soon can my assets start working instead of me? PS Wachologuai Reset Sectian. Most people were never taught how money actually works. They were taught how to earn it, not how to multiply it. You were trained to be productive, not financially independent. That's not evil. That's educational inertia. But now you know better, and awareness changes behavior. Fit practical framework. Here's a practical framework used by financially resilient people. They don't depend on one income. They stack income layers. They convert savings into productive assets over time. They increase skills that raise earning power. They measure wealth in cash flow, not account balance. They plan for flexibility, not a fixed retirement date. Befutor, realty check tech. Longer lifespans mean longer financial responsibility. If you live to 90, your money must work for 30 years after your job stops. That's not a saving problem. That's a strategy problem. Major global institutions, from pension boards to economic forums, are already warning about retirement funding pressure. This isn't hidden. It's just not simplified for everyday people. So consider this video your simplified version. Don't panic. Don't freeze. Don't blindly trust old formulas. Upgrade your plan. Own more of what grows. Depend less on what promises. Because retirement is not guaranteed. But financial control is buildable. And the earlier you see the shift, the less expensive the lesson becomes. To trust the future, you have to understand the past. In 1889, German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck invented the pension. He set the retirement age at 65. But back then, the average life expectancy was only 45. The government wasn't being generous. They were playing the odds. They knew most people would never collect. Fast forward to today. In 1950, there were 16 workers for every one retiree. Today, that number has crashed to less than 3. The pyramid has flipped. We are trying to run a 21st century world on a 19th century Ponzi scheme. If a private company did this, the CEO would be in federal prison. But when the government does it, they just call it Social Security. Even if the system doesn't collapse, there's a second trap. The stealth tax. You're told that 2% inflation is target. It's good. But 2% inflation means your money loses half its value every 35 years. Think about that. If you save $1 million today, by the time you need it, it will buy you what $500,000 buys you now. You're running a race where the finish line is being moved back 2 miles for every 1 mile you run. Banks want you to save in paper because they can print paper. They don't want you to own assets because they can't print land, they can't print gold, and they can't print your time. Why is BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, buying up thousands of single-family homes? Why are they outbidding you by 20% in cash? Because they know the secret. In the future, you won't own anything. Your pension check will be sent by the government, and it will go directly back to the corporations for rent and healthcare. They are building a subscription economy for your life. You aren't retiring into freedom. You're retiring into a permanent monthly bill. Death e solutium. So, what's the move? It's not saving more. It's changing the game. Stop saving in a dying currency. Diversify into hard assets that the government can't print. Build income, not savings. A pile of cash can vanish. The stream of income is life. Exit the matrix. Realize that the 40-year plan is broken. The system isn't coming to save you. It's coming to tax you. But once you see the lie, you gain the power to ignore it. Don't build a retirement. Build a life you don't need to retire. Let's look at what financially secure people actually do differently. Not what they say, what they do. They don't wait for retirement to start investing. They design their life so investing becomes automatic. They treat income like fuel, not the destination. Salary is the engine starter. Assets are the real engine. CASHFLOWVS savings. Most workers focus on how much they can save. Wealth builders focus on how much they can generate. Saving protects you. Cash flow frees you. A saved dollar sits still. A productive dollar goes to work every day. Even when you don't. Skill ASAN asset. There is one asset class most people ignore. Because no bank sells it. Your skill stack. If you can solve expensive problems, you become inflation resistant. If you can create value, you become system independent. Markets change. Currencies change. Policies change. High value skills keep paying. Atheist control shift. The old retirement promise was control later. The modern wealth strategy is control earlier. Partial freedom at 35 beats total dependence at 65. Maybe you never fully retire, but you gain the power to choose your work. And that's a higher form of freedom. Authority. Will pensions disappear tomorrow? No. Will government stop paying entirely? Unlikely. But will benefits stretch as far as people expect? That's where the real uncertainty lies. And smart planning is built around uncertainty, not promises. Start simple. Year 1. Build emergency buffer plus skill growth. Year 2. Start asset investing. Year 3. Add second income stream. Year 5. Own income producing assets. Year 10. Reduce dependence on single paycheck. Not hype, not shortcuts. Structure. This is not about fear. It's about awareness. Not everyone watching will act, but the few who do will experience a completely different financial future. 10 years from now, two types of people will exist. Those who trusted the old formula and those who upgraded it. Retirement was never supposed to be a destination. It was supposed to be a transition. Make sure yours is powered by assets, not assumptions.